there! Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be on this new background. This is so exciting. It's not done yet, but we're gonna be centered, we're gonna be cool, calm, and collected. Hey there. So making these videos has been a part of my full-time work for more than a year and a half now. And in that time, I have told some incredible stories about the state of Michigan. I have learned that the place that I live is more amazing than I could have ever guessed growing up. But lately, I've been doing some reflecting on where I've been with these videos, where I am currently, and where I want to go. And I've realized that some things need to change. And I'm not just talking about this half-finished backdrop. This video comes to you in two parts. Part one, some historical context. I was trained to write science videos in a very particular way. Watching science videos on YouTube as a teenager, most of the stuff I saw involved one person in some sort of studio space explaining a topic. That was also the format I had at the job before this one. So I was taught to become very proficient at writing that kind of video. So when I left that job and started on this adventure, that's the format I continued on with. Every time I made a video, I read as many research papers or articles as I could get my hands on, synthesized all of that information into what I hoped was a compelling narrative, and then put it all together with some hosting and animations and photos. There was one thing I changed though. I really wanted to tell stories that were a bit more local to me than they were at my last job. I wanted to tell stories about things that I could see in real life and interact with. So as much as possible, I filmed outside my living room. But even then, that was largely me filming at places I had researched independently. Overall, there is nothing wrong with that format of video, especially if you're pulling your information from credible sources. But over the past year and a half, and especially over the last few months, I started to realize that I've been missing out on something. This fall, I filmed a few projects that relied on field trips with experts, people who know more about a topic than I ever will, taking me to really interesting places and then showing me why they're interesting. For instance, I stood on the Earth's surface as it was 1 billion years ago and learned that the view I was looking at has been largely unchanged since then. I also went to an old mine and learned how archaeologists dug up and then reburied a significant site. I even narrowly avoided crawling into a cave full of giant spiders at a waterfall. In short, I learned that I can do some good research and I can string together a pretty solid story. But when I take field trips with experts, those stories are always more compelling, more thorough, and more just flat out amazing than the stories I could tell on my own. And that brings me to part two, some short updates. Number one, in light of this realization, which honestly was more of a months-long discovery process, the format of many of my videos is going to look a bit different moving forward. Some of the videos will still look like this, me hanging out with you on my new couch, because sometimes that's the most effective format for a video. But if all goes well, many more of my videos are going to involve either field trips with experts or field trips informed by experts. The heart and spirit of these projects won't change at all. They'll still be informed by curiosity and wonder, and I'll still be hosting all of them. So honestly, you might not even notice the change. But I do think the stories will end up being even more fascinating, and I love sharing some of the behind-the-scenes intention behind my work, so. Update number two, bringing in more experts and going more interesting places also means that each of these videos will take longer. Right now, I am still the entire writing, filming, editing, and animation department around here. So instead of trying to post 2 videos a month, I'm going to officially and properly scale back and only post 1 video per month on average. I might end up publishing more than that some months, but sticking to this schedule will give me more time to work on good, interesting stories. Also, a thing you might not know, I currently do a decent amount of freelance writing and editing for other folks making educational videos, including both SciShow and Crash Course, if you're familiar with them. So the slower upload schedule on my channel will give me some more space to work on those projects that I think are really important and meaningful and just happen to live on other corners of the internet. Update number 3, I'll see you in January. I'm taking the rest of this year to gear up for 2023 and make some serious progress on my first videos of the new year. I have a ton of footage that I shot this fall that I'm super excited to cut together, and I also have to track down one more interview about a gigantic lava flow. So my next video will officially come on Friday, January 6th, 2023. I'm genuinely very excited about it, and I hope you'll join me then. And finally, number 4, last announcement, I would love to hear from you. In the description of this video, you will find a link to a survey that asks you a few questions about how you use my videos, what sort of stories you're interested in me telling, and also has a few other questions, such as, how interested are you in merch? The survey is anonymous by default. I will not be publishing the results anywhere, and I'm guessing it should take most folks around 5 minutes or less. This is my first time doing something like this, and I would be deeply grateful for your input. Again, you can find the link to that in the description. All right, that's what I got. I am so excited to do a soft relaunch of this channel in January, and I am so deeply grateful for all of you who have joined me on this adventure so far. Whether you've been chipping in on Patreon for the last 1.5 years, or have just given 1 or 2 videos your attention, it makes a huge difference in the work that I'm doing. So I truly mean it when I say, thank you as always for being here, and I will see you in 2023. Oh, not gonna lie, it feels so good to be able to use this set. I had to tear down wallpaper and hang wallpaper, and I'm so happy it's done. And I'm super excited about it. I think some additional artwork is likely gonna go up here at some point. I have some cool Michigan geology pieces that I would like to hang, but whew, we're getting there. We're almost there.